Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another Final Fantasy Revex's video, and we're actually going to have a very unique setup guide here. Don't ignore the team. We're only talking about Rain here, and I have a unique experience to share with you because we can actually share a build that's EX1 only, because you may be unlucky like I am, and you only have EX1 Rain, and you got to wait a little while for the shards to come up. I need 20 shards to give me EX2, so on this account, I don't have his STMR. And if you're a free-to-play player, you're probably not going to be worrying about STMRs, right? So you have to build him without his STMR, which is a little tough, but it is what it is. So what's an EX1 build look like? So you might think that in his base form, you might just want to build him with Clash of Wills morale building stuff, but in actuality, I'm interested to see what people are going to use him for in Clash of Wills. But my theory currently, and I'm pretty sure this is going to be correct, you're going to be staying in his base form quite a while, because remember guys, he's a trance shift. So you're really only going to be shifting to him maybe like 3 turns before your damage turn, because remember he has to stack. He has a stacking mechanic just like Sephiroth and Tifa and stuff like that. And so that's where his damage is. So in his base form, you're probably just going to be chaining with him, or maybe even pretend finishing with him with his LB, because remember it's a one-hit LB on his base form, so might be okay. But, so, obviously you're going to have his TMR on because you need his TMR for 100% all killers and also 1,000 flat attack. You need his TMR. His TMR is awful, but it's better than nothing, I guess. It's better than nothing. At least it has a little bit of attack on it. Then you'll want to have the Crimson Claw, which is the free weapon that you can currently get right now, and probably in the future as well if that key thing comes out where you can go back to older stages with these keys that'll be coming out, hopefully in global, right? And so this gives him, gives him 50% LB damage and also 500 flat attack. So you want to have this, guys. It's only 200 attack. I know some of you guys may like, oh, it's only 200 attack, but as you can see there, Dark Ragnarok at plus 11 only has 286, so it's not that much off. So this is probably the best build for EX1 in Clash of Wills equipment. If you already swapped over your crown to the white one, then you'll have even more stats than this. But I'm not transferring over currently. And then we just have one of killers. That doesn't have to be these. And it can be any killers. And then you have your Twin Sword Master, which is Awakened Ending Knight's STMR, so he gets 100% true dual wield. And then when Kenshira's STMR gets upgraded, you can change out this Crystal Glove for Kenshira, and then you could have something else here, more killers or something. And we have over the amount of LB damage. And this card could be anything. Like, you may have Will card at this point because you may have had him in the Shard Dungeon, you may have pulled him off banner, you may have, it has decent amount of attack. Actually, I think it's the highest amount of attack that I have in my account currently. If you have EX3 Rain, then obviously you're going to be using his card, but we don't have that. You could also use Esther's card. A little bit less attack, of course, but there is some killers in here and things like that as well, which we would like to have. So maybe you could have this as well. It's not too bad either, right? And so his Brave Shift form is literally the exact same. Literally the exact same. You need his Team Arm because of this, and so that's really it. Also, make sure you're awakening this, because this gives him an additional 200% or 100% true dual wield. Without this awakened to level 5, he has still only 300% out of 400%, even with this equipped. So pretty basic equipment overall and at EX1, which is fair, right? Because you're only at EX1, you don't have his STMR. His STMR is pretty good. Gives us some 100% beast killer. So at EX2, with this passive, you'll have 200%, I believe, or maybe even more, but with Espers, of course. But so this is the Clash of Wills stuff, and there's 500 flat attack at EX2. There's 150% fire amp, which we'll be looking at soon. Oh yeah, there it is. So with this, with his STMR and EX2, and also just this when you get his STMR equipped, he'll have 300% beast killer right off the bat easily. So it's pretty good. But this is the EX1 build, and just you have 3 slots to work out whatever killers you need at EX1. But now let's look at EX2, shall we? And here we are with the EX2 build, which is not too much different. Keep in mind, I don't have a whole lot of things upgraded on this account, so this should be like plus, just pretend this is the +1 from the previous section with the EX1 build. And also with this could be this instead, that's upgraded. Just in case you have the white one, either one of these is a white one. Remember, he doesn't need any caps, by the way. I'm only putting these in here just because they have a lot of stats. He already has the 8 times cap. That's one of the biggest draws to why you would want to pull for him. And also I don't have any better accessories than that, unfortunately, on this account. So these would be better accessories for you. As always, with EX2 now, he'll have access to a lot more killers, 200% all killers. So much easier to get 300%, a lot of 300% killers. So he's very, very good in Clash of Wills because he'll be able to build for anything. Unlike some of the other, global units that are really good have 2 really good killers for 1 boss, and then, they're kind of harder to build for the next few bosses and things like that, usually. Whereas this guy, you can build him for anything. I could take off those 3 killers and put on whatever I need. Like, for example, if it's aquatic and stone, I can easily get 300% for stone and also aquatic. We're also using this vision card yet again, but at EX2, you still don't have access to his card just yet. At EX3, obviously you'll get it, but until that happens. And then, well, I don't know why this got taken off. Not that. But you'll obviously want to have this because you can't equip the clothes anymore. You can't equip this anymore on his Brave Shift form because remember, as you can see here, he loses the ability to equip clothes in his Brave Shift form, which I never noticed because I always have this on the JB version anyways. But this is pretty good attack, 150 attack, and also he gets since he's an FFBE, and he also gets 100% LB fill rate, which is actually very good. I never actually knew that I had that ability. I always just use it because it had pretty good attack on it, but pretty good. So there really isn't much changes other than now you have this ability where you have 150% amp, which we all know how good that is at this point. And like I mentioned, he'll get those Clash of Wills abilities and also the Omni Killer. So he gets 100% all killer. So 200% all killers, because if you have his TMR or STMR equipped, you get 100%. So very good. His Brave Shift form is obviously where it's at, but you need to use it wisely because you only have limited turns. And you'll never really know that on the screen because it doesn't tell you that. Maybe it does. I'm pretty sure it doesn't, but you find out in battle. But on this screen, I wish there was a way of finding it out on this screen, but there really isn't. And so he'll be good forever, pretty much almost forever, because he has this tag, which I didn't think they would even put in here, but they actually put in the Clash of Wills tag. So he's going to work well with a lot of Clash of Wills, even if you don't use his leader skill anymore, which, I mean, it's so good. That's the reason why. That's one of the main reasons why you pulled him, is because of the leader skill. And even after his leader skill is power crept in some way, or some form, he'll have this tag always, so you'll always be able to use him in some way. Now, some of these other ones, like Anniversary JP and Dark Lineage, will never be used ever because they're terrible, but the Fire and FFBE is also very good, so I think that's about it, guys. I can't really go much into it because he's really easy to build, actually. But some of you guys needed help with it, so this is kind of just how you would want to go about it. So if you have the white versions of these Clash of Wills equipment, it gives them a lot more stats than what you're being shown here. I just haven't made the switch on either account just because I like the chain cap on some characters, so it's easier to build. Well, with that being said, guys, that's it for this video, guys. Thank you guys very much for watching. Appreciate you. And I hope to see you in the very next video. Peace.